Holly mentioned something that I find interesting because, you know, when it comes to social networking sites, there's the flavor of the month and there's always new ones coming up. How do you guys plan to maintain your relevance as new sites come and challenge your position? We could start with Jeremy.
Well, Project Plus, we started as a search engine, so we were kind of the meta engine for all the stuff that was being published on the web. And when we started, you know, we started realizing, hey, there's just a tremendous amount of content out there, legitimate content, that we did a survey as the top 100 Billboard a couple weeks ago, and we found 95 of the top 100 available free streaming format, either on MySpace or free streaming format on awhile, or wherever it may be. It's out there. And we, I mean, how we want to do it is we just want to aggregate the content that's out there through like picking up on RSS feeds, and I mean, we don't want to compete. I mean, we're not like awhile in that sense where we have pages for artists. We want to be able to aggregate all the stuff that's happening all over the web, aggregate their social graphs, aggregate their content, and then have a portable player where they could use our player that's aggregating all their music, and then use that across networks. They can use it, and a lot of artists have taken our player and put that on their web page, put it on their MySpace page, so they have one way that they share their music. And so that's how we are pretty much gonna, I mean, we're gonna build out tools just because a lot of our artists are asking for these specific tools, but we're never really gonna focus on being the be-all, end-all. But to Ali's point about it's always a different flavor of the month. I mean, MySpace is it now, but you know, who knows what it's gonna be next month or next year. So we're gonna be wherever we can be.
Andy, is there something you want to add?
Yes,
Sorry.
do you want to go on?
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, you know, I mean, I think the flavor of the month is interesting to watch. With, I guess we're really just talking about two examples with MySpace and then now a question around how long until people get Facebook fatigue. But those are general sites that aren't really focused on anything particular or specific. They're just sort of about connecting and about connecting to like a phone company. And you know, sort of how long can people really just continue to build up these groups of friends and connections, and who has the best private messaging system or can have the best news feed. And I think, you know, we constantly look at what's coming up and are always somewhat threatened or just always interested in seeing what the latest innovation is. And one of the things we just keep reminding ourselves is to focus on something and be specific about something. And actually, you know, what our role in the world is around live music. And you know, that is where we sit, and that's what we want to be the best in: concerts and live music. And I think for a site out there who's someone who's new, who's coming into this wanting to make a splash or have a big launch, I would look at it as a long-term view. You know, to try the odds of you getting in and getting bought by Google are as slim as maybe having a hit record. You know, I mean, you got to think about it as a career. You got to think about it as a long-term proposition. And I think, you know, to maintain relevancy is something we constantly think about. I think if you can provide people with a focused experience that is of value to their lives, that actually solves a problem. So think about solving a problem for people, not just creating a cool technology that's solving a problem that doesn't exist, but actually solve a problem that exists and give people something that's going to make their lives more valuable. Would be, so what I would say would be a great way to maintain relevancy in the long haul. So we try to tell ourselves that all the time.